Good morning, guys. Just having a cup of coffee here now. Sap season's over, so it's time to boil up the sap, make some maple syrup. So yeah, so how do I know that sap season's over? Because the sap is not flowing very good right now, and basically you look at the weather forecast. For sap to run, you need it to be freezing cold at night, so it needs to be below freezing at night and above freezing in the daytime for the sap to freeze in the night, thaw out, and run in the morning. So when you start getting above freezing temperatures in the nighttime, sap season's over. And all this week is going to be above freezing temperatures, so sap season's over, time to boil her up. So I'm going to just set all this up. Lay this thing right here. Wha-bam! You can't see a thing, can you? Let me put you down a bit. There you go. Let's bring her up a little bit more. There you go. Alright. Better be light. So, let's go get the sap, get the boiling pot. I got the garage door open. It needs lots of ventilation for this. If you do it in your house, you got a whack load of water that you're boiling off, and you'll steam the whole place up, and you have syrup particles running in the walls and everything. So you gotta have good ventilation. So I usually do it here in the shed. So boil it in here with the door cracked and let all the humidity get out so I don't have syrup running in the walls everywhere. Alright, let's get her going. Yeah, so she's pretty much done here now. There you go. Not freezing anymore. Got a nice bit in this one. And over here, this one here is not full, but that's about all I'm going to get. Season's over, time to boil her up. Let's go. Oh, got my boiling pot. Well, first thing I got to do is plug this thing in. Hey. There we go. You can see that, right? Yeah. Put the pot on. I'm going to turn her off first. Put the pot on. Shouldn't have laid the lid down, but whatever. Alright, go grab the syrup now. Alright, got the first lot. It's a nice bit there, and that one, that's from the big tree. Big-ish. It's not a big tree, but that's that one. Now, I don't like just putting it in there because, you know, I drill a hole in the tree, so there could be a bit of sawdust or stuff in there. There is a little tiny hole here, so, you know, particles and stuff can get in. So I just like to filter it out. So how do I filter it? I got an old coffee thing that you puts in the coffee pot, coffee brewer. I took that little poppy piece off there, and I just put the coffee filter in, and then I run my syrup through there, and any sediments and stuff will stay in here and not in my pot. Now I got to suspend it over here, so the way I does that, I just take some stuff and put across like that. Too heavy on one side, there we go. Just like that. And that's just so the coffee filter can have something to sit on. Simple enough. Now I just gotta dump me syrup through the filter, let it run out. I'll bring you over for a have a look at that. Alright, pull this thing out. Hold the filter and slowly dump her in. Bit of a slow process. Anyway, I'm gonna speed this up and we'll get back when we get the big jug. Alright, that's it for the wee little jug. I'm gonna go get the big one and put it in there now. Alright, back in a second. Alright, got the big one. Take these things out. Give them a good shake, get all the syrup, sap out of it. Chuck them over there. Pop this thing off. And get the big one in there. It's a bit of a slow process, so I'll get back to you once it gets it all done. Still got a whack load of syrup here left. Right here. And look at that. The filter is barely dripping. So, once that one runs out, I'm going to take that filter out and put a new one in. Unfortunately, that's what happens. It gets clogged up a little bit, so gotta replace them. Probably. Alright, I got the filter replaced. Let's see if she runs any better now. Ah, you hear that? Run like a tap. So yeah, just make sure you change the filters when they stop running so fast. Let her run down and put a new one in. You might have to use 3 or 4 or whatever. Now, I likes the coffee filters because it filters them quite well. But I mean, if you don't want to wait for a coffee filter, you can always use a pair of. You can always use cheesecloth or something like that. Cheesecloth is a little bit too porous. You'll still get some sediment in it. But cheesecloth, whatever. You can use pantyhose too. So you go cut the toe end out of your wife's pantyhose so she don't know, and slap that on there, and that'll work as well. Not as good as a coffee filter, but just another option, right? Yeah. And if you don't want to use a pair of pantyhose, you can use a pillowcase or, you know, sheet off the bed or whatever. Just don't let the wife know because she'll get mad at you. But yeah. So I'm just using coffee filters because that's what I likes. But you know, anything that filters it out works. Just make sure it's clean. You know, don't take your dirty underwear or whatever and use that because that would be disgusting. All right, see you in a bit. All right, getting to the final little drop here. Now, say a little drop. I heard people make coffee out of it, so I'm gonna boil the kettle and make a cup of coffee with the little bit that's left. Just enough for 1 cup. I don't want to waste too much of the syrup. Give that a try, see what she's like. Almost gone. Little drop left. And that is it. All the sap is gone. Alright, let's get the coffee going. Just got the old butane stove. Stick that baby on there. There we go. Turn her on, see if she works. There's the gas. There's the flame. Oh. One of the friggin'. I gotta turn her off for a second. One of the friggin' pins is still. Oh, she's hot. One of the friggin' pins is still on the inside. There we go. Let's get her going again. Alright. Let that boil up and then we'll give her a shot with the coffee. I never ever made the coffee with it before, so this is my first time. Alright, be back in a second. Move that back so you can see it, I suppose, eh? There you go. Let her go. Alright. I'm just gonna pre-mix my coffee. I don't have a spoon, so I'm gonna just eyeball it. A little bit of Nescafe Instant. Put about a teaspoon in there. A little bit of coffee cream. Just a little splash for color and taste. Maybe a little tiny drop more. And one little sweetener. Now I just gotta wait for her. Already starting to smoke. Look, steam coming out of her. Now I want to make sure she's boiling, because if there's any bacteria and stuff in it, I don't want to be drinking it. So I want to make sure she's boiling before I make my cup of coffee. Do you know how to make holy water? You boils the hell out of it. And that's what I'm doing with this syrup. I'm going to boil the hell out of it. Alright, starting to bubble. I'm going to give her about a minute. Give her a full minute. Let any bacteria and stuff in it die before I drink her. Turn her down. Let's give her a shot. Now she's awfully dark, so I'll put another little drop of cream in there. There we go. Got another stir stick. I'm going to stir her up with. Frick, I'm never prepared. I'll just stir her up with this piece here. There we go. Let's give her a shot. And then we'll get the syrup on the boil. Cheers. Not really much of a difference. Tastes a little bit, maybe a little hint of maple in it, but not a whole lot. That's pretty good though. Yeah, it gives it a little tawny taste. Just a slight little hint of maple in it. Yeah, not too bad. I should have kept some more so I could make more, but oh well, that's all you can do. Anyways, I'm going to finish this off now in a second. So, next step. Get the last of the syrup done. So, I'll just show you something here. So, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had to use 6 coffee filters, 6 of them, for that jug. About a jug and a half of sap. So yeah, like I say, coffee filters are great if you're doing a small batch. But you imagine if I had like 5 or 6 trees tapped or more, I would have ran through some load of coffee filters, I tell you. So yeah, use your old lady's pantyhose, clean ones, not dirty ones. Or cheesecloth or pillowcase or something like that if you're doing big batches, because like I say, coffee filters are great, but they clog up pretty quick, so you might have to use a lot of them. Anyways, next step, I'm going to take all this old stuff off, get the filter out of the way, have a cup of coffee, drink a coffee. Yeah, you can taste that maple, just a little hint of it, and crank her up full blast. I got her on 5. That's the max she goes. And it's going to take probably 8 hours, maybe more, for that to boil down. I'm going to put a lid on just to keep the bugs and stuff out. And I'm going to, when you put the lid on, you want to tip it back a little bit. Just so all the steam goes that way out of the shed. But that's not the main reason I does it. If I put the lid tight, it's going to keep all that condensation inside, and what we're doing is boiling the water, and we want the steam to get out so that the volume decreases. If the steam don't get out, it's going to take even longer to boil. So like I say, let the steam fly. Sound good? Alright, she's on, she's gonna go. We'll come back in a second when she starts boiling, give you a little show of that, and And then in about 8 hours or so, maybe more, we'll come back and we'll see what we ends up with. Peace. See you in a minute. See you in a few minutes. Now, like I was saying, you can use the for the filtering out your sap before you boils her down. One of my buddies said I should use a Brita filter, so that's probably a good idea as well. Now, I mean, if it's plugging up the coffee filter, probably going to plug up the Brita filter as well. But you know, if anybody has a try and use a Brita filter prior to boiling it, let me know how well it worked out, because I might start using it if it works out. I don't see it going through all that hassle of filtering it through a Brita filter, paying all that money for a Brita filter and all that stuff just to filter it out, and then not working. Probably not a good idea. But anyways, like I say, if you give it a try with a Brita filter before you boils her up, let me know how it goes. Alright, let's get back at it. Just skim off all that old white stuff, look. Skim her off. Hopefully it makes it cleaner in the end. Keep all the fogginess out of her once she's done. Just bang it in here. Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, I'm getting pretty close now. Had a little look. Alright, y'all. Starting to get close to the bottom there now. I don't know if you can see past all that steam, but starting to get pretty close. So now in a little bit, I'm going to transfer. I'm going to do one more coffee filter before she gets too thick to go through it into this little pot, and then we're going to start the whole process of making the syrup part. Alright, be back in a second once I start transferring it over. Alright, so we're just going to get the syrup, nearly syrup, into the smaller pot. So what I'm going to do, I got this filter here for the syrup to go through, and that'll just take out the big sediments, and then the coffee filter for the smaller sediment. I'm just going to put it in there like that. Take the lid off, get her situated, and I'll need something to put across here. So to do that, got my axe, got my hammer, lay her on top, and then I'll get the big bucket and dump her in. Oh, she's still hot. Alright, hold on, I gotta get the lid out of the way. Ooh, I won't burn the fingers off. Alright. So, pretty simple. I'm just gonna slowly dump it in there. Now you might have to change the filter a couple times, so don't put too much in at once. Just a little bit at a time, make sure she goes through the filter. It's a lot thicker than it was the first time. So you got to make sure you don't go too fast or the filter will clog up, and then I got to be scooping it all out again. Now she's going down pretty good. And just a little bit at a time. Smells like cotton candy. Alright, I'm gonna just keep dumping it in, and then we'll get back to it now in a minute. Alright, so she's just starting to drip a bit and more. So it's not pouring very good, so I'm going to have to change the filter. So what I'm going to have to do is dump the rest of this back in here. And then I'm going to put a new filter in so I can filter the rest. Because she's clogged up. Look, I got about half a cup of syrup in here. And it's not going through very good. Look. She plugged up. So what I'm going to do, dump her back in here. And take that one out. Take the old coffee filter out. Stick that in my cup. And coffee's gone. Add another filter. Put this one inside of that one. And now she should be good to go for the last little drop. Let's see. too hot on the top, just the bottom. Bottom's a bit burny. Alright, look, you can see, look, she's going nice and smooth again now. Alright, time lapse again. Well, for frig's sakes, filter's plugged up again. Looks like I'm gonna have to change it one more time. Alright, dump her back in. Like I said, if you don't want to be frigging around with changing coffee filters and stuff, get use cheesecloth, the old lady's pantyhose or whatever. Something more porous than a coffee filter. Because obviously the coffee filters, that's 2 now. I'm probably going to use 3, maybe 4 of them. And I'm starting to run out. Alright, this one goes in. Extra filter. Alright, let's get her going again. Time lapse again. Alright, I'm going to put the final drop in there now. Let's have a little taste. Tastes like maple syrup. Watered down maple syrup. Alright, well, I'm going to let this finish filtering. Then we'll get it on there and get it boiling. I'll let you have a look in a minute. Alrighty then, that's what she looks like just before I put her back on the stove. Nice golden amber color. Alright, so I gotta boil all this down and I'm gonna get maybe 500 to 700 mils of maple syrup out of it. Thicker stuff. But yeah, just gotta boil it down. I can tell when it's getting close, when it starts getting a lot of froth. So when it starts frothing up, then I know I gotta reduce the heat and start doing the next part, which I'll explain later. Alright, simple enough. Slap that on here. Crank her up full blast. Take my lid and I friggin' put her down the wrong way. Hold on, I'm gonna wipe that off with some water and stuff. Got my lid all cleaned off. Put your lid on, give her a little bit of angle. Remember, if you want her to go down really quick, you gotta let the steam get out. And like I say, I don't have to do it over by the door anymore because most of the water's boiled off. Is just a little bit of water left to her. So yeah, just let her do her thing. It might be another 2 hours or so. So what are we hitting on now? About 10 hours? So we're looking at about 12, 13 hours before the job's done. So yeah, nice little hobby. Probably not the not worth the effort if you don't like doing it. Just go buy the stuff at the store if you don't like doing all this whole racket. A lot of work to it. But yeah, anyways, we'll check back when she starts to foam up. Then I know she's starting to get really thick and sugary. So when she starts to foam, I'll show you that process, and then we do the spoon test, which I'll show you later. The drip test. Anyways, be back in maybe 2 hours or so. Alright, peace, see you then. Alright guys, we're getting pretty close there now. You see it's starting to bubble up. So basically what I wait for is when it starts to bubble up where it gets almost to the top here. Then I know that is really close to being completed. I'll reduce the heat from there and then just slowly boil it until we get, I'll show you the drip test after. Alright, just gotta wait for that to start coming up. I'll show you another quick peek before we reduce the heat. Alright guys, here she comes. Starting to get close to the top. As soon as she starts getting up to the top there, when the bubble starts getting up to the top here, then I'm going to reduce the heat. That means she's starting to get pretty close to complete it. Alright, that's about as far as I'm going to let her go. So I'm going to turn the heat down now. I'm just going to let her simmer. And we'll just keep checking it for the drip test. I'm going to wait for it to simmer down a bit and then I'll show you the drip test. So, basically what we do, I'll just show you now. So pick up some syrup like that. Nice golden delicious syrup. What you do is when you tips it over, now you see how it's dripping off the spoon? So when it's close to done, when we tips her down like this, we want to get it to the point where it beads like it's gonna drip, but it don't drip. That means it's ticking off. So then we'll just keep stirring, just keep stirring. Alright, getting closer. Let's bring up the, let's have another look at the drip test. Ready, set, pour. You can see the beads are starting to go a little bit slower there now. Getting close. Needs to get to the point where they're not dripping no more. They're just sticking on like glue. So another little bit, and the next one when it comes back, it'll be friggin' done then. Right, she's pretty close now. I got her reduced a bit more there now. Let's give her the drip test. I'll put this here. Oh, now she's gonna drip a little bit anyway at the beginning, but you see it starting to bead up on the end there, and she's holding that bead. See that? She's holding on. That's good in my books. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the heat off. Let her cool down a bit. And you can see all the froth in there, so I'm going to let the bubbles settle down in there. But once you get the froth off, you got nice golden maple syrup. Alright, so next step. I got one more filter to go. And this stuff is so thick now, she ain't gonna pass through a coffee filter this time. And believe me, I've been tried it. It won't go through. So, you can get your old lady's pantyhose. You can get a pillowcase, a sheet, an old t-shirt. Make sure you cleans the friggin' stuff first. Not with fancy cleaners and all that stuff. Boil the shit out of it in a pot. And I get all the germs and bacteria killed off of it. Anyways, this is one of them hats that he uses in a fish processing plant or meat processing plant. One of my buddies gave it to me. He works in the processing plant here. So, yeah, it's just a hairnet. Now, before he goes and uses anything like this, you don't just assume it's going to work. I already got one done here, so I'm not going to use the one I just had on my head. But I already got one here. Before I tried it, because I don't know if this is going to melt or not. And I don't want to have melted plastic or whatever the heck that is in my stuff. So I boiled the kettle and I poured the crap out of it with boiling hot water. She holed up, she didn't melt, and worked pretty good. Alright, be back in a second because I'm going to get this all set up and show you how to do it. I got to wash my hands first. Alright, so now this is what I'm going to do. Now my hands are nice and clean. This is all cleaned up. I just freshly cleaned it. Soap and water and all that stuff. I'm going to put one layer here and one layer on the bottom. So that way there's two, one on each end. And I got this porous filter, so the sap should go through that one pretty easy. It won't go through, unfortunately. It won't go through the coffee filter, so that's a no-no. Put her in. I'm going to layer in the filter thing here. Alright, so I'll just wrap that thing around it. Like I said, I already checked it out and make sure it's not going to melt and all that stuff. It's basically like a cheesecloth. So if you got cheesecloth or a pair of pantyhose, try it with some hot water first. Make sure whatever you're using don't melt, because God knows what the hell is in it. So this one's ready to go. I'm going to lay it here on the pot again. Now I got my mason jar. And this mason jar is freshly boiled and sterilized. So I don't want to be touching none of this inside stuff and contaminating it. So that's all nice and sterile. So what I'm going to do is put my filter on here. Slow and steady. I don't want to tip nothing over. There she goes. There we go. That's going to be a bit of a slow process. But, there you go. And there's still a nice bit at the top. So, like I say, I might get about 500 mils or so out of it. Let's give her a bit of light so you can have a look at it. Now you can't see a Jesus thing. Alright, I'll hold her up here so you can see through it. Now she might be a bit foggy at first. Oh, my friggin' light's dead. I got a nice bit of it. Oh, she friggin' burned the hands off you. Frig sakes. Yeah. She's still friggin' hot. I don't think that's gonna make much of a difference. Now, she's probably a little bit foggy there. Jeez, she's so hot. She's probably a little bit foggy where I was stirring her up so much. But that should come out fairly clear. There might be a little bit of fog at the bottom. Let's get a light hooked up so you can see it. Oh, she's a bit on the hot side. Alright. Still a little bit foggy, obviously, but you can see the amber color to it, I suppose. Yeah, so that fogginess, that'll clear up pretty good later. So, just gotta wait for the air bubbles to get out of her from me stirring the crap out of it. But, yeah, it should be pretty clear tomorrow. So, I'll, once it settles down and stuff, we'll do another light test so you can see how clear it is. Probably got a little tiny bit of fogginess in it, obviously. Can't get it all filtered out, but whatever. Oh, she hot, buddy. Alright, while she's still hot. I'm going to put my lid on. And because of the heat, it's probably going to cause it to vacuum seal. Oh, not vacuum seal. It's probably going to cause it to seal. So I'm just going to put it tight. And like I say, because it's hot, it's probably going to seal. And I'll show you how it looks tomorrow once all the little frothy bubbles is in it from me stirring it up. Anyway, it's got a nice bit this year, huh? Make 5 pancakes. 5 pancakes, 6 pancakes. Maybe I'll take a little bit and make a bit of wine or something out of it. Alright. Till next time, if you like all this stuff, do all that click stuff like clickety click 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 like, and come back with some more stuff. I'm doing that old booze thing too, so if you like homemade wine and all that old stuff, and cheeseburger wine and French fry wine, all that stuff, check that part out too. Alright, peace out, have a good time. The last little bit's gonna be me just showing you this. So, over and out. Alright guys, it's the next day. I got the maple syrup here. Just gonna show you. A lot of the bubbles are gone out of it now, you can't really see it. So, I'm just gonna pop up the garage here. There we go. Now, you still can't see. There you go, look. Hold on, I'll get the light bulb for you. There we go. There, see? Nice and smooth now. You can almost see through her. A little bit foggy there at the bottom, but that's the finished product. A little bit Maybe a bit thicker than I wanted it, but yeah, it's a bit thicker than I want it. But not too bad. Not as thick as molasses. But yeah, should be pretty good. She's already sealed from the heat, so I'll just wait until I'm gonna have some pancakes. Alright. You like these videos and all that stuff, click like and all that. And yeah, check back soon.